The starship Tranquility moved slowly through the dark space. Its white hull shone under the light of distant stars. Inside the ship, Captain Do-hyun sat in his comfortable chair on the bridge. He watched the main screen with calm eyes. The screen showed beautiful stars passing by like gentle snow. "Luna, how are our passengers doing today?" Do-hyun asked. His voice was soft and steady. Luna was the ship's AI helper. She took care of everything on the ship. "All 500 passengers are sleeping peacefully, Captain," Luna replied. Her voice was warm and gentle, like a kind grandmother. "Their dream pods are working perfectly. Body temperatures and heart rates are all normal." Do-hyun smiled. He had been the captain of Tranquility for 5 years now. His job was to take these sleeping people to their new home. Earth had become too busy and noisy. Many people couldn't sleep well anymore, so they decided to find a quieter place among the stars. The captain stood up and walked to the window. His steps were quiet on the soft floor. The ship was designed to be as peaceful as possible. Even the engines made a sound like gentle waves on a beach. "Captain, would you like to see the garden level?" Luna asked. The garden level was Do-hyun's favorite place on the ship. It was full of real trees and flowers. The air there smelled fresh and sweet. "Yes, please," he said. The elevator took him down smoothly. When the doors opened, he saw the beautiful indoor garden. Small lights in the ceiling looked like stars. They changed color slowly, following the time of day on Earth. As he walked through the garden, Do-hyun checked on his crew. Medical Officer Taiwan was sitting under a big tree, reading about the new planet they would visit. He looked up and waved at the captain. Near the small pond, Science Officer Jae-hyun was collecting data from the plants. She used special tools to make sure all the plants were healthy. These plants were very important. They made the air clean and helped everyone feel calm. "The flowers are growing well," Jae-hyun said to Do-hyun. She pointed to some new blue flowers. "These ones make a special smell that helps people sleep better." Do-hyun touched one of the soft petals. He remembered why they started this journey. Back on Earth, people had trouble sleeping. The cities were too bright and loud. Stress made people stay awake at night. But here on the Tranquility, everything was peaceful. The captain's watch made a small sound. It was time for the daily ship check. He walked slowly through different parts of the ship. Everything was running smoothly. The dream pods looked like rows of peaceful beds. Inside each one, a passenger slept quietly, dreaming of their new home. In the engine room, Engineer Sunbai was working. She always kept the engines running at the perfect speed. "The engines are happy today, Captain," she said with a smile. She called them happy when they ran without any problems. Back on the bridge, Do-hyun sat in his chair again. The stars outside seemed to wink at him. Luna's soft voice filled the room. "Captain, I have good news. We are right on course. The new planet will appear in our screens in exactly 1 month." Do-hyun felt proud. His ship and crew were doing their job perfectly. They were taking these sleeping people to a better place, a place where they could rest and dream again. "Thank you, Luna," he said. "Please play the evening music." Soft music began to play throughout the ship. It was time for the awake crew to rest too. As Do-hyun looked at the stars, he thought about their destination. Soon, they would find a quiet new world, a place where everyone could sleep in peace. The Tranquility continued its gentle journey through space. Inside, 500 dreamers slept peacefully. They floated among the stars, carried by hope and the quiet hum of engines. Captain Do-hyun watched over them all, like a careful guardian of their dreams. One morning, the ship's alarms made a soft chiming sound. It was not a warning, but a happy sound. Science Officer Jae-hyun looked at her screen with wide eyes. "Captain," she called to Do-hyun, "we found it." The main screen of the Tranquility lit up with a beautiful sight. A new planet floated in space before them. It had a purple sky that looked like a gentle sunset on Earth. But what made everyone gasp were the floating islands. Large pieces of land hung in the air like clouds. "Luna, please scan the planet," Du-hyun said. He leaned forward in his chair, his eyes full of wonder. The ship's AI began her work right away. "Captain, the air is safe to breathe," Luna reported. "Temperature is perfect for humans. And there's something very special in the air. It's a natural gas that makes people feel peaceful and sleepy." Jae-yun worked quickly at her station. She looked at all the data coming in from the planet. "This is amazing," she said softly. "The whole planet is like one big dream. I want to call it Morpheus, after the old stories about the god of dreams. Is that okay, Captain?" Do-hyun nodded with a smile. Morpheus is a perfect name. He turned to Medical Officer Tae-won. "What do you think about waking up some of our passengers?" Tae-won checked his medical screens. "We should wake up 10 people first, to see how they feel on the planet. I suggest we start with the scientists. They can help us study this new world." The crew worked carefully to wake up the first group. The dream pods opened slowly. Inside, people began to open their eyes for the first time in 5 years. They had been sleeping all through the long journey. One of the scientists, Dr. Ko-eun, walked to the window. She looked at the purple sky of Morpheus. "It's more beautiful than our dreams," she said. Her voice was filled with joy. The Tranquility landed softly on one of the bigger floating islands. The ground was covered in silver grass that made tiny musical sounds when the wind blew. The air smelled like lavender and warm milk. Jae-yun stepped out first, carrying her testing tools. She touched the silver grass and smiled. "The whole planet is like a lullaby," she said. The other scientists nodded in agreement. They all felt very peaceful. Back on the ship, Luna made an interesting discovery. "Captain," she said, "the floating islands move in a special pattern. They dance slowly through the sky, following the planet's moons. It's like a quiet ballet in space." Do-hyun watched through the ship's windows as another floating island passed by. It had tall trees with leaves that changed color from blue to purple. Small creatures that looked like glowing butterflies flew between the branches. "Send a message to Earth," Do-hyun told Luna. "Tell them we found our new home. Tell them it's better than we hoped for." That night, the first group of colonists slept under the purple sky of Morpheus. They didn't need dream pods anymore. The planet itself helped them rest. They had sweet dreams about their new life on this peaceful world. In the morning, more islands had floated near their landing spot. It was as if the planet was welcoming them. Jae-yun started making maps of the floating islands, while Tae-won studied the wonderful air that helped everyone sleep so well. The crew of the Tranquility knew they had found something very special. This was not just a new planet. It was a gift for all the tired people of Earth. Here, under the gentle purple sky, everyone could finally find peaceful sleep again. 3 days after landing on Morpheus, Jae-yun saw something unusual on her scanner. "Captain," she called to Do-hyun, "there are life signs coming from the big island floating above us." Do-hyun looked up through the ship's window. The island above them was larger than the others, with tall crystal towers that caught the purple light. These towers had been empty yesterday, but now they glowed with a soft blue light. "I can see movement," Tae-won said, looking through his binoculars. "They look peaceful." His voice was calm but excited. Suddenly, all the screens on the Tranquility showed the same image. It was a peaceful garden with flowing water. In the middle of this garden stood a tall, graceful being. The being had silver skin that seemed to shine like starlight. Its eyes were kind and wise. "Do not be afraid," a gentle voice spoke in everyone's minds. "I am Harin, elder of the Dreamweavers. We have been sleeping, waiting for others who understand the importance of peaceful rest." Captain Do-hyun stepped forward. "I am Captain Do-hyun of the starship Tranquility. We come from Earth, seeking a peaceful place where our people can sleep well again." Harin smiled, and everyone felt warm and safe. "You have found the right place, Captain. We Dreamweavers have lived on Morpheus for many years. We speak through shared dreams, and peaceful thoughts. Medical Officer Taiwan was fascinated. He asked if he could study how the Dreamweavers shared their thoughts. Herin agreed and invited some of the crew to visit their crystal city. The next day, Du Hyun, Taiwan, and Jai Yun took a small ship up to the floating island. The crystal towers were even more beautiful up close. They looked like they were made from frozen dreams. Inside the towers, they met more Dreamweavers. These beings floated gently through the air. They didn't speak with words, but shared their thoughts through peaceful images and feelings. Herin showed them a special room called the Dream Chamber. Here, the Dreamweavers could share their dreams with each other. The walls changed color with their thoughts, creating beautiful patterns. "Would you like to share a dream with us?" Herin asked the humans. Taiwan volunteered first. He sat in a crystal chair while Herin placed a gentle hand on his forehead. Suddenly, Taiwan could see Earth as it was long ago, when it was peaceful and quiet. He saw forests and oceans that were calm and clean. The other humans watched as the walls showed what Taiwan was seeing. "Your people have carried this dream of peace with you," Herin said kindly. "Here on Morpheus, we can help you find it again." The Dreamweavers explained that they had built the crystal towers thousands of years ago. The towers helped collect and share the peaceful energy of Morpheus. This energy helped everyone sleep better and have good dreams. Before the humans left that day, Herin gave them a small crystal. "Place this in your ship," she said. "It will help your sleeping passengers have peaceful dreams until they wake up." Back on the Tranquility, Du Hyun placed the crystal in the center of the ship. Right away, Luna reported that the sleeping passengers were smiling in their dreams. That night, the awake crew members had their best sleep ever. They dreamed of their new friends, the Dreamweavers, and the peaceful life they would build together on Morpheus. Environmental specialist My Sun loved plants. On Earth, she had worked in the last peaceful gardens. Now, on Morpheus, she had the chance to create something special. The Dreamweavers wanted to help her build a garden where both species could rest together. "The plants on Morpheus are different," Herin explained to My Sun one morning. "They stood in a field of silver grass that sparkled under the purple sky. They respond to thoughts and feelings. They sing when they are happy." My Sun knelt down and touched the grass gently. A soft musical note floated up from where her fingers touched the blades. "That's wonderful," she said. "Could we use these plants in our garden?" Herin showed My Sun many different plants that day. There were flowers that glowed in different colors depending on the mood of people nearby. Trees with leaves that made soft chiming sounds in the wind. Even small bushes that created gentle clouds of sweet-smelling mist. The human colonists and Dreamweavers worked together to build the garden. They chose a beautiful spot where 3 floating islands had joined together. The garden would connect all 3 islands, creating a peaceful place for everyone. My Sun designed special paths through the garden. These paths were made of soft moss that felt good under tired feet. The moss glowed softly at night, showing the way without bright lights that might disturb people's rest. In the center of the garden, they built a quiet pool. The water came from deep inside Morpheus. It was slightly warm and had tiny sparkles in it that made people feel peaceful. Around the pool, they planted the singing flowers. "Watch this," Herin said to My Sun. The elder Dreamweaver touched one of the flowers. It began to sing a soft note. Then she touched another and another. Soon, the whole garden was filled with gentle music. "The flowers remember the songs we teach them," Herin explained. "They will play peaceful music all day and night. It will help everyone sleep better." My Sun had another idea. She asked the Dreamweavers to help her plant special dream trees. These trees had wide branches that made nice shady spots to rest under. When someone fell asleep under a dream tree, the tree would share peaceful dreams with them. Captain Du Hyun came to see the garden when it was finished. He found My Sun and Herin sitting together by the pool, watching the singing flowers change colors in the evening light. "This is more beautiful than we imagined," Du-hyun said. He sat down on the soft moss. Right away, he felt more relaxed. The garden was working just as they had hoped. More colonists were waking up from their long sleep now. When they visited the garden for the first time, they were amazed. Some of them cried happy tears. On Earth, they had forgotten what true peace felt like. Here in the garden, they found it again. The Dreamweavers taught my son how to care for all the special plants. She learned that the plants needed both human and Dreamweaver care to grow best. This was a new kind of garden, where two different species worked together in peace. Every evening, humans and Dreamweavers would gather in the garden. They would sit together by the pool, listening to the singing flowers and watching the purple sky turn dark. The garden became a place where friendships grew strong and where everyone could find perfect rest. 2 months after landing on Morpheus, something unusual started happening. More colonists were waking up from their long sleep, but they felt very tired. Medical Officer Taiwan noticed that many people wanted to sleep for longer hours than normal. "I don't understand," Taiwan said to Captain Do-hyun. "All their health readings are normal, but they keep falling asleep." He showed the captain his medical screens. The sleeping colonists looked peaceful and healthy, yet they didn't want to wake up. Young researcher Yoon-ho worked in the medical bay with Taiwan. He had been studying both human and Dreamweaver biology. One day, while looking at the test results, he noticed something interesting. "Look at this," Yoon-ho said to Taiwan. "The colonists' sleep patterns are changing. They're starting to match the natural rhythms of Morpheus." He pointed to a chart that showed how people's sleep was becoming deeper and more peaceful. Herin visited the medical bay to help them understand what was happening. "Your people are not sick," she explained gently. "Their bodies are learning the song of our world. This is a good thing." The elder Dreamweaver showed them how the planet Morpheus had special times for rest. These times followed the movement of the floating islands. When islands came close together, their peaceful energy grew stronger. This made everyone, even the Dreamweavers, feel more sleepy. Yoon-ho spent many days studying this pattern. He discovered that humans who slept during these special times woke up feeling better than ever before. Their minds were clearer and their bodies felt stronger. "We should work with this natural rhythm, not against it," Yoon-ho suggested to Captain Do-hyun. "Let's adjust our colony schedule to match the planet's sleep patterns." The captain agreed. They created a new daily schedule for the colony. When the floating islands came together, everyone would rest. When the islands moved apart, people would work and play. The Dreamweavers helped them understand when these times would come. Some colonists worried about sleeping so much at first. But Herin showed them something wonderful in the dream chamber. She helped them see how their bodies were becoming healthier with this new sleep pattern. "Your people came here looking for better sleep," Herin reminded them. "Morpheus is teaching you how to rest in the most natural way. This is not an illness. It is a gift." Taiwan and Yoon-ho wrote everything down carefully. They wanted to share this discovery with Earth. Maybe this knowledge could help people back home sleep better too, even without being on Morpheus. The colonists who accepted this new way of sleeping had beautiful dreams. They saw wonderful things and woke up feeling happy. Even the children in the colony started sleeping better. Their parents were amazed at how peaceful and bright-eyed they were. One evening, as the floating islands drew close together, Yoon-ho sat in the Garden of Rest. He watched as both humans and Dreamweavers settled down for their sleep time. The singing flowers played soft lullabies, and the dream trees spread their branches wide. "We didn't just find a new home," he thought as sleep gently came to him. "We found a new way to live." In his dreams that night, he saw the future of the colony. It was a future where humans had learned to balance wake and sleep perfectly, living in harmony with their new world. Engineer Sun Mei spent many hours in her workshop on the Tranquility. She studied the crystal that Herin had given them. The crystal helped people have peaceful dreams, and Sun Mei wanted to understand how it worked. One morning, while examining the crystal under special lights, she noticed something remarkable. The crystal had tiny patterns inside that looked like flowing water. These patterns changed when people nearby were dreaming. Harin, Sunmei called to the Dreamweaver elder through their communication system. Could you help me with an experiment? When Harin arrived at the workshop, Sunmei showed her the discovery. The crystal responds to dream energy, Harin explained. It captures peaceful thoughts and shares them with others. She placed her hand on the crystal, and the patterns inside began to glow more brightly. Sunmei had an idea. She asked Harin if they could combine this crystal technology with the dream pods from the Tranquility. The Dreamweaver elder agreed to help. They worked together for many days, mixing human science with Dreamweaver wisdom. They built a new kind of dream pod in Sunmei's workshop. It looked like a comfortable bed surrounded by soft light. Small pieces of crystal were placed in special spots around the pod. These crystals would help guide people's dreams. We need someone to test it, Sunmei said when the first pod was ready. Captain Do-hyun volunteered. He lay down in the pod and closed his eyes. The crystals began to glow with a gentle blue light. As the captain slept, something amazing happened. The walls of the workshop showed images from his dreams. Everyone could see peaceful scenes of Earth, of space travel, and of their new life on Morpheus. The dreams were clear and beautiful. Sunmei and Harin built more dream pods. They made them better each time. The new pods could help people share their dreams with others who were sleeping nearby. Friends and families could have peaceful dreams together. Soon, they discovered another wonderful use for the pods. People on Morpheus could send peaceful dreams back to Earth through the Tranquility's communication system. The dreams traveled through space like gentle messages of hope. This is more than just a sleeping place, Sunmei said to Harin as they watched people using the dream pods. It's a bridge between worlds. The Dreamweaver elder nodded in agreement. The colonists loved the new dream pods. Parents could share comfortable dreams with their children. Friends who lived on different floating islands could meet in their dreams. Even the Dreamweavers enjoyed using the pods, saying they helped them understand human dreams better. Sunmei kept working to improve the technology. She found ways to make the pods smaller and easier to use. Some pods were placed in the Garden of Rest, under the dream trees. These pods worked especially well because they combined crystal technology with the natural peace of the garden. One evening, Sunmei sat in her workshop, looking at her creation. She remembered how people on Earth had trouble sleeping. Now, thanks to the dream pods, they could learn about the peace of Morpheus even from far away. Engineering isn't just about building machines, she thought. It's about building bridges between people. The crystals in her workshop glowed softly, sharing her peaceful thoughts with everyone nearby. Once every year, Morpheus's 3 moons lined up in the purple sky. When this happened, the floating islands moved into a special pattern. The Dreamweavers called this time the Great Alignment. They had celebrated it for thousands of years. Colony leader Jinwoo worked with Harin to plan a celebration that would bring both humans and Dreamweavers together. They decided to hold it in the Garden of Rest, where the singing flowers could join in the ceremony. During the Great Alignment, dreams become stronger, Harin explained to Jinwoo. It is the perfect time for our peoples to share a deep connection. She showed him how the crystal towers glowed brighter as the moons moved into position. The colonists spent many days preparing for the celebration. They cleaned the garden paths and helped the singing flowers learn new songs. The Dreamweavers taught them the traditional music of Morpheus, while the humans shared songs from Earth. On the night of the Great Alignment, everyone gathered in the garden. The 3 moons shone like pearls in the dark purple sky. Their light made the crystal towers sparkle, and the silver grass glow. Harin stood in the center of the garden, near the quiet pool. Her silver skin reflected the moonlight. Jinwoo stood beside her, wearing special clothes that the Dreamweavers had made for him. The clothes had small crystals sewn into them that sparkled like stars. Tonight, we will share the Starlit Symphony, Harin announced. It is a dream walk that will connect all our minds in harmony. The singing flowers began to play soft music that matched the rhythm of the moons. Jinwoo and Herin joined hands. They walked slowly around the quiet pool while the music grew stronger. The water in the pool started to glow with the same light as the moons above. Suddenly, everyone in the garden could see into each other's dreams. Beautiful images filled the air around them. They saw Earth as it was long ago, with clean oceans and peaceful forests. They saw the history of Morpheus, with its floating islands dancing through space. The children were especially amazed. They watched as their dreams mixed with the dreams of young dreamweavers. Together, they created new visions of future adventures and friendships. The dream trees spread their branches wide, catching the light of the three moons. Their leaves made music that joined with the singing flowers. Even the silver grass hummed softly, adding to the symphony. As the moons reached perfect alignment, Jinwoo and Herin led everyone in a traditional dreamweaver dance. The steps were slow and graceful, like floating through a peaceful dream. Humans and dreamweavers moved together in perfect harmony. The starlit symphony lasted until the moons began to move apart again. When it was over, both species had a deeper understanding of each other. They had shared not just their dreams, but their hopes for the future. "This is why we came to Morpheus," Jinwoo said to Herin as the celebration ended. "Not just to find better sleep, but to find a better way of living together." The Dreamweaver elder smiled, knowing that their two peoples would remain connected through their shared dreams. 10 years passed on Morpheus. The colony grew into a beautiful place where humans and dreamweavers lived together in harmony. Captain Do-hyun, now retired, sat in his favorite spot in the Garden of Rest. He watched his grandson, Young-jae, practice dreamwalking with a young dreamweaver. The colony had become famous throughout human space. People called it the City of Pleasant Dreams. Ships came from Earth regularly, bringing people who wanted to learn about peaceful sleep and better living. Young-jae had grown up on Morpheus. Like many children born on the planet, he could share dreams naturally, without using the dream pods. He worked as a teacher, helping new visitors understand the special way of life on Morpheus. "Grandfather," Young-jae said, sitting next to Do-hyun under a dream tree. "Tomorrow I leave for my first diplomatic mission to Earth." The old captain smiled, remembering his own journeys through space. The diplomatic missions were important. Young-jae and other young colonists would travel to different human worlds. They taught people how to find better sleep and peace, even without living on Morpheus. In the Crystal Towers, Herin and the Dreamweavers had built a special school. Here, they taught both humans and dreamweavers about the deep wisdom of dreams. Students came from many worlds to learn. The dream pods that Sunmai had invented were now used throughout human space. But they worked best on Morpheus, where the peaceful energy of the planet made dreams stronger and clearer. One morning, a new ship arrived from Earth. Young-jae went to meet the visitors. Among them was a scientist who had studied the messages and dreams sent from Morpheus over the years. "Your colony has changed how humans think about sleep," the scientist told Young-jae. "People on Earth are learning to slow down and rest properly again. The dreams you share with us help everyone remember what peace feels like." The floating islands still danced their slow dance through the purple sky. But now each island had both human homes and dreamweaver towers. The silver grass grew everywhere, singing soft songs day and night. In the medical bay, Taiwan trained new doctors. They learned how to heal both bodies and dreams. The Dreamweavers taught them that good sleep could cure many illnesses. My son's gardens had spread to every floating island. Each garden had its own special singing flowers and dream trees. The plants helped everyone sleep well and have beautiful dreams. Do-hyun often thought about that first day when they discovered Morpheus. They had been looking for a quiet place to sleep. Instead, they found a whole new way of living. "Our greatest dream came true," he told Young-jae before his grandson left for Earth. "We found not just rest, but true peace. Now you will help others find it too." That night, as the three moons shone in the sky, The whole colony shared a peaceful dream. They saw their past, from the first landing to the present day. They saw their future too, bright with hope and harmony. The tranquility still sat where it had first landed, now turned into a museum. New visitors would walk through its quiet halls, learning the story of how humans found their way to this peaceful world. And so, the colony continued to grow and share its gifts with others. On Morpheus, under the purple sky, among the floating islands, everyone could find the peace they needed. It was a place where dreams came true, and where two different peoples had learned to live as one family, wrapped in eternal peace.